They have been moving through our skies with total impunity for as long as mankind has had the ability to record the events, and even before then. In yesterday's video, we showed footage of Mexican military aircraft failing spectacularly to stop a fleet of these from moving through their airspace. Now, in 2004, even the U.S. military was flummoxed. For 2 days, they tracked craft exactly like this from multiple ships, an aircraft carrier, multiple destroyers. They deployed F-18s, and they had just about as much luck. They could do nothing about it. Now, in this particular shot, it shows a fleet of these craft flying in formation, all in one direction, as if moving through a flight corridor. And in today's video, we're going to expound a little bit more on this and reveal some new information, something that many people haven't seen. And I'll warn you, it's probably something you're going to want to sit down for, because it's going to chill you right to the bone. Now, when I pulled up Google Earth Pro and plotted this location in relation to others that we've known about, a pattern started to emerge that these craft are likely originating from the Stargate in Antarctica, a place that we've covered for probably 2 years now. And they're flying along certain prescribed corridors. Right here in the center, this is Easter Island. This is where all the Moai heads are, also known as Hangaroa. In Argentina, there's a very strange formation way out in the mountains that is shaped like a pentagon. For those of you who followed the Pentagon Network investigation, you'll know what that means. But in today's video, the Maresus, also known as the home of the gods, also correlates to this location. All of it joins up right here off the coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, some might say, Florida Maquis, we see 2 brand new lines here. Have you found something new? I have. We're going to deal with the smaller line later. But this larger line that goes over the edge of the globe here, this is what's going to chill you to the bone, because I know it did me when I figured out what was going on. The Maresus. I want you guys to remember this name. The Maresus. The Maresus. That is a name derived from their language. All of these locations, Fatuiva, Hivaoa, Nukaiva, they all prescribe parts of a home of the gods. That's what this means. Hivaoa means the beam, the major beam that you would hang the roof from. Nukaiva means the frame of the house. Fatuhiva means the roof. This entire region has dedicated all of the names in their native tongue, Marcasic, to the land or the home of the gods. Now, halfway around the globe, they've done the same thing in virtually the same phonetic way in 2 different languages. It is one of the most unbelievable coincidences, that's not a coincidence, that I've ever seen. Now, if you draw a straight line from the Maresus directly over where this event with the Mexican military occurred, on the way to where we're going, you arrive directly over some place that I still to this day cannot explain. In the Bahamas, on the seafloor, there is a very strange pentagon-shaped structure with a very weird blue oval in the middle. It is about 1,000 feet across and about 600 feet top to bottom. Now remember this. If you start in the Maresus, And I'm pronouncing that away in a specific way for a certain reason, the Maresus. You go over where that flight of UFOs was found. It takes you directly over this, and where do we end up? Where do we end up? Well, this is the part that's going to chill you. Straight line takes you to a place in Morocco, a city known as Marrakech. Marrakech. So we've gone from the Maresus to Marrakech. Now, what if I told you in two separate and distinct different languages, they phonetically have named the land and home of the gods the same way? Now, this is the Maresus in the Pacific. What they describe as the gods are these beings with very large dark eyes and skinny bodies. Ring a bell? Here's a statue of one. Small slit for a mouth, large dark eyes. Ring a bell? Like what we've discovered in Antarctica, this image here and this image here, these are taken in Antarctica. These are artists' representations of what people have reported seeing, like what we saw from the issue in Brazil. This god they talk about is named Atea in the Maresus. In the mythology of the Maresus Islands, Atea is the giver of light, or the light bringer. Now, this statue reminds me of some other statue, the light bringer. The light bringer. Now, who is that? See, those of you who've joined us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel would know exactly who the light bringer is and what the goal of the light bringer is. $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable in 90 days. Would love to have you join us over there. It helps me continue my research. Now, Marrakech. Now remember, we came from the Maresus to Marrakech in a completely different language, Berber. The words Murnakush means land of God. Now, what are the odds? What are the odds that Marrakech and the Maresus, literally on opposite sides of the globe, could have the same phonetic result, meaning the same exact thing? The Maresus, home of the gods. Marrakech, land of God. And I'd have you pay attention to the flag of Morocco, which is a red background and a green pentagram, which is basically the interior prescription of a pentagon. This is no joke. You can do this for yourself with Google Earth Pro. You can draw a line from Marrakech, just start in Marrakech, and draw it to the Maresus. Draw a straight line all the way to the Maresus and see what it intersects. It will take you directly over, literally directly over, a structure that is only 1,000 feet wide. That is a pentagon. And oh by the way, it will take you directly over an area where we have actual footage of an entire fleet of UFOs making mincemeat of the Mexican military. Do you think it's a coincidence? I don't. Now, some might be asking, wow, that's crazy, Maquis, but what about that smaller line? You mean the one that goes from Argentina straight through this same event? Where does it end up? Well, it ends up in this very remote region of southern Alberta, just east of a place called Medicine Hat. How many of you have seen the Guardian Formation? Yes, that's right. Way out in southeastern Alberta, there is a, I guess, random formation that looks exactly like a Native American with a headdress on. Just another coincidence? Just another random anomaly on the planet? I don't think so. I really don't think so. These are things you could only see from high above. How many more locations do you think we'll uncover? There are a great many more. And believe me, when we start to correlate what's happening with the Pentagon location in Brazil and where it goes and what it correlates to, I'll give you a hint. There's a straight line location between that area in Brazil, this area in Mexico, and where the U.S. military got its you-know-what handed to it by a fleet of UFOs off the coast of San Diego. But that's another video for another day. So I'll leave it there. What do you think? What are the odds a place like Marrakesh would have the same phonetic pronunciation and the same meaning as the Maresus, a Polynesian island group on the other side of the planet, just randomly? Both meaning the same thing, both pronounced the same way, all on one straight line that correlates with a Pentagon and a fleet of UFOs. You just can't make this up. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.